cook meals they will never taste. Restaurants are judged before first bite. Recipes go viral overnight. And social media has turned chefs into celebrities. Our guest today is one of the most recognizable culinary creators from northern Nigeria. She has built a loyal audience around Arewa cuisine and lifestyle content. But with influence comes scrutiny. When food becomes content, does authenticity suffer? When every meal is sponsored, can audiences still trust recommendations? Has the race for views changed what and how we cook? And are influencers shaping healthier eating habits or simply selling aspiration? Joining us today is chef, an entrepreneur, and digital creator, Chef Ma. Hello, Chef Ma.
Hi, thank
Good
you
to
for
see you in our
having
studio
me.
today.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope you brought us some cuisine, some.
Yeah, sure. I brought some, but we are still going to cook some here.
All right, can't wait to see that. So, moving on quickly to the conversation of today, people know Chef Ma, but do they really know who Mariam Saidu? Because before we get to know that your name is Mariam Saidu, we've heard Chef Ma countless times. I think it took me a lot of research to know that she's actually Mariam Saidu. So
Yeah.
behind the cameras, who are you?
Okay. My name is MARYAM SAIDU, and then a lot of people know me by Chef Ma or
of
Arewa
course.
Foodie.
Yeah.
How do I even start to put this together? But then I'm just a curious person. I'm a very, very passionate person about food. I mean, I grew up seeing my dad cook for us,
Oh, wow.
get us ready for school, and all of that. He's really, really such a great cook, I should say that.
Yeah.
It's something that we don't normally grow up in our community, in our society, seeing
Men.
fathers,
Yes.
men being.
So when you say that, I know so
Yeah.
many men will be like, lele.
Yeah,
Those
honestly,
things.
when it comes to that part,
Yeah.
he does it so well. My mom actually gets jealous anytime I say my dad inspires my whole cooking stuff and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's just it.
So at what point do you realize you weren't just cooking food, you were actually building a brand for yourself?
Okay. Initially,
Yeah.
during uni, I started selling samosas for around 30 naira to 50 naira.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just making money. You know how students sometimes we need to do some things by ourselves, and all of that. So I started posting pictures about the samosas and then sharing behind the scenes, and all of that, and little things that I do sell at uni. And then at one point, a brand actually reached out to me. Wanting to collaborate with me and then pay me, and I'm like, I'm not even sharing a lot, I'm only sharing what I'm doing, you understand. I'm selling something and then they want
So
to
was
do
that
business
like
with,
your
and I'm
big
like,
break?
yeah, of course. Even though I watch a lot of creatives online doing food videos, and all of that, but I never really realized how big the thing is actually. Yeah, so at that point when they reach out, I had to, go back, check through a lot of inspirations and see how big they are going. And then I realized that this is actually like a turning point for me to make this my own business. And then that's
So
why I
that
actually
incident
started.
actually encouraged you to becoming who you are, or away from just being a chef, maybe a samosa maker.
Yeah.
Awesome. So do you consider yourself a chef first or an influencer who cooks?
I do both because I'm not just any chef, I'm a private chef. What that means is that I cook for special people actually. I mean, very intimate events, or like sometimes you know how we both cook for like large events. But then
So which one would you call yourself first? Is it that okay, I'm a chef first before an influencer, or
you're putting me on the spot.
or influencer came at some point?
Okay, I should say influencer before chef. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So was it that you started influencing before
Yeah.
you took the chef thing serious?
Yeah, I actually started influencing before I took the chef thing very serious because was just more of doing food without actually like going to culinary school and learning how and why we do a lot of things when it comes to cooking. So along the line, I actually went back to culinary school, and then I studied a lot when it comes to
Yeah.
food. And then that means the influencer comes first before the chef thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So many people would have thought, oh, you were a chef first before becoming an influencer, because we have so many, entrepreneurs that maybe just started selling. So
Yeah.
when they got recognized, they started influencing.
Nope.
So it's
I
good to know
started
that you're still,
influencing first. Yeah. I was
yeah.
just cooking what we eat day to day.
So let me ask you, if social media was cancelled today, what do you
Yeah.
think will remain of your business?
Okay. Aside what people just see online, I do a few things off camera. Yeah, I am an entrepreneur. I don't want to like go into details with that, but yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. I do
That
a
means you
little
have other
things. Yeah, I
businesses
have
away
other
from
businesses.
being
Yeah.
Chef Mark.
Yeah.
But so many people do not know this. Can you take us through those other businesses you engage in?
Okay. I think I would say I do farming.
Wow,
Yeah, back home.
that's
I do
huge.
farming, both livestock. Though my mom takes care of like majority of the part for me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing the online businesses.
So I was about to ask if success, when we talk about success, was
Okay.
your success built on culinary skill? But you just mentioned that you have a lot. What would you say about that?
Yeah, it's built like that's the actual how should I put it? Social media actually made it for me. Being a creative on the internet and then started from there. So there was a point where I was actually making a lot of money online, but I don't do any other thing. It was just like making videos and then posting videos online, and then buying gadgets for the kitchen, the phone and all of that. But then at a point, I came to realize, okay, so what if we stop social media? And then not just that, you know how we keep growing, and there are a lot of upcoming creators too that also want to be like on the spotlight someday. So
Yeah.
what if at a point our time has like passed,
Yeah.
so what am I going to have on ground? You understand? So
Okay, so
that
you
was,
believe no matter how popular you are now,
yeah.
sometimes will come when you are no longer
Yeah, there are
in
a
the.
lot of people before us that were
Yeah.
doing it, and then now it's like it fades away, just like we grow.
But do you think some people actually think this way? Because I think to some people, being on social media is like a do or die affair. They have to keep showing up because it seems like they never thought of one day I will have to go.
Yeah, there are people like that because I used to be like that, but then I had to think for myself. So I believe there are still people like that, but then as time goes on, I'm sure they will realize too.
So you've talked about you were just cooking. Then
Yeah,
you mentioned that at some point you became a private chef
yeah.
cooking for important people. So at what point do you realize, oh, I'm not just cooking. I want to use this cooking for marketing to make money.
Okay. As I said, I was just cooking online, cooking what we usually consume in our house, and then at a point where I'm a very curious person. So, you know how social media, we see a lot of things, especially if you are in a field. The algorithm works more of what you do. You see
Yeah.
people doing the same thing. They recommend people similar to what you do,
Yes,
and
yes.
all of that. So I get to see a lot of people that are actually doing really, really good. And I was so curious to like be in that point. You understand? Be in that stage where I'm better, I get better than my current stage like
Stage.
that. Yeah, so I decided to like join the culinary school before then. After culinary school, I actually learned a lot of things, especially when it comes to cooking, because I realized that at some point we're just cooking. Everything that actually goes into the food has a reason why it goes inside.
Mm.
Everything that is everything makes sense to what we eat. You
Mm.
understand? It's not just about cooking, pouring ingredients, and all of that. There are ingredients that are not supposed to
They
go in together
combine.
with, yeah, exactly. So I went to school, I learned a lot, and then I said, okay, let me take this private chef thing very, very serious, because there are people that actually want to have they might be having guests, they might be having like an intimate event where they want someone to come into their house and then cook for them,
Yeah.
and all of that. So I just decided to like go for it because I'm very, very passionate about it.
So you've talked about being a chef and also being an influencer. In fact, you talked about being an influencer coming before being an actual chef.
Yeah,
So how do you combine this together? Does the kind of product you influence,
yeah.
does it affect what you come to cook online or show online?
It doesn't actually affect in any way. Why? Because most of the products I advertise or I influence for the brand, they are products that align with what I'm doing. In
Mm-hmm.
particular, it can be a cookware brand. I'm already cooking. I'm a chef. I'm
Yeah.
an influencer. I'm a food influencer. So I believe that that aligns with me, and then we also influence for brands like seasoning. We have tomato paste, and all of that. So they are all on the line. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like we are leaving the line or so.
So being an influencer, have you ever influenced like a product that you might never even use, but maybe because the business aspect, you got cash? Do you influence things that you actually don't use?
Yeah. Mm, Talking about small business owners, yeah, that's where sometimes a lot of small business owners want to just bring in their products for you to like advertise for them, but then you might not necessarily use the product. But it actually depends, because I'm very, very selective when it comes to products that I influence to people. I make sure that I try that product before actually bringing it to people. If
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it or I have a problem with the product, I don't really bring it to people. So, but then there are still products that I might like it, but I might not use it because I use another brand. You
Yeah.
understand? So in that case, yeah, it happens.
So I asked because a lot of influencers will always say that okay, they only they only influence products that they believe in.
Yeah.
So how do the consumers? How do we verify this? How do we verify the authenticity of this product?
Okay, talking about that, I think I didn't get your question in the first place, but then now I do. For me too, honestly, I rarely like influence products that I never use. Even if I never use the products, then when you send me the product, I have to test it before giving it out to my audience. Why? Because I have built like a very genuine and a very trusted community where
Mm.
people believe in whatever I bring to them. Because I remember being in a fair, a fun fair not long ago, and then I posted before I went to the fair. I posted about Rarunta
Mm-hmm.
of my friend.
Yeah.
She's very, very good at that. So I was just talking about it on my story, and then I went to the fair. Someone just came. Hi, Chef Ma. I just saw your story. Is it the Trarungta that you were recommending? I
Yeah.
came here especially for you, and all of that. So you see, it's not just about influencing, because the Trarungta, I've been using it for a very, very long time. I don't use any other Trarungta apart
Yeah.
from her own brand, and people have seen me talk about it for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
That means I've already built that connection with my audience, that whatever I post, they just get attached to it. It's like me attaching myself
Exactly.
to the
I
brand.
think that's what influencing does, and that's
Yeah.
what influencers does. And this brings me to my last question before we go for a quick break.
Okay.
Why do these products, the producers,
Okay.
they love to use celebrities, influencers that have made name like you,
Okay.
Chef Ma? So because they understand that you coming to talk about that product,
Okay.
you being in the picture
Mm-hmm.
influences people to want to use it. Some people would like to use it because Chef Ma is using it, not
Yeah.
because of the availability of that product. What would you say about that social media drive?
Okay. In the first place, I don't think any brand will just reach out to any random person to influence or produce a content for their brand. Why? Because whichever person or influencer they are using for a certain campaign, it's more like attaching their face to their brand. You understand? Because they know the person has built like a very genuine
Of
trust
course.
with their community, and they have like a huge following, and then
Yes.
they have a very powerful influence when it comes to influencing like that. Because the moment you work for a brand, especially brands where you work for them not once, not twice, not thrice, a lot of time. So whenever people see you, they see that brand.
Exactly.
Whenever people see the product, they see you. I have there is someone that actually influenced for a new brand like that. So anytime I go to the supermarket and I just saw the brand, I'm just seeing her face. Do you get?
Yeah.
So it's not just about influencing or just creating content. No, it's about building trust, trying to put that person's image into to attach it to the brand. Do you
Yes,
understand? Yeah.
yes. Thank you so much, Chef Ma. We'll be going for a quick break now. And when we return, Spotlight or still continue. We've been talking about um, culinary skills in combination with influencing. Now, the question is, where should audience draw the line between authentic recommendation and paid persuasion? When we come back, we'll be having more discussions with Chef Ma. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, these have food content has exploded online. But are people actually learning how to cook or simply learning how food should look on camera? We'll be having this conversation with Chef Ma, the person in the right position to talk to us about, because she is a chef as well as an influencer. Chef Ma,
Yes.
yes, we are still here with you.
Okay.
So the question is, have aesthetic become more important than flavor? Because when you go to social media, you see a lot of chef trying to, garnish. Coloring is more important. Has it become that way? Has social media made it important for women to put in more color than being, you know, worried about the flavor, just like our mothers and grandmothers are worried. They don't really care about the aesthetic. But this
As humans, so I believe that if food is not well presented, even if it's very, very delicious and very, very nice, I don't think it will be able to appeal the consumer. I don't think it's going to be attractive to the person who is going to eat it. You understand? Because first impression really matters, especially when it comes to food. I do not take that for granted.
Yeah.
I'm very, 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 very serious about how food should look like before eating.
But we've watched some culinary show that I don't want to mention that
Okay.
after they put on all the garnishing, all the vegetables,
Yeah.
they end up throwing it away, saying it's actually not healthy because maybe it has melted or
Okay.
this combination have stayed for quite long because of they have to take pictures of food,
Okay.
so it's no longer edible.
Okay. In that case, in cooking shows, they
Yes.
have like a very, very limited time to cook, to source ingredients, to put together, and then the final dish. Unlike how when you are at home as a chef, before I put any food online, I make sure that I do my own little research on what I'm going to cook, think about how I'm going to plate it, think about combining this and that. And then sometimes we don't even just bring food online like that. For me, I try recipes. I make sure that whatever I'm bringing to the table has to be something that people would love, something that when people try, they wouldn't come back and say, oh, this is not nice, I don't like this, and all of that. That's why I try recipes before bringing it out is very, very important.
Yes, we've had so many, social media content creators. They are not really chef, but they try to cook at home to show how they are cooking their food. Some people go extra mile just to get adequate reply from their watchers. Some people that want to go natural, like be very real with their
Okay.
meals, the kind of comments they get on the comment section. So is it that these um the culinary people are ashamed of the actual family meals, the ordinary family meals? Does it now seem inadequate because of social media?
Okay. You know how you cannot please everyone? So no matter how much effort you put into a dish, it's not everybody that is going to like it. That's one thing. And then there is one thing about people that I get to understand is that people always want to see you make things in a certain way that they are used to making it. So when you go outside of the box, try to do something that is quite impressive, or maybe like a fusion.
Different from what they know.
Yeah, different from what they know. And then that's where a lot of backlashes come from, because that's not how they are used to seeing a certain dish or so. So I just believe, or I would always say that people should be open-minded to trying out recipes. Don't just see them online and think, this is not nice. No, try it first. There is a reason why the person put it out there. You don't know how much effort they put into that. And then some people where
Realistic expectation of what look like.
yeah, of course. Because for me, I create content. I create food videos as a business. That's my business. So
Yeah.
I believe it's more of like packaging myself, making it appealing to whoever is coming to patronize my business and all of that. So sometimes it's not really, we do budget friendly meals for our daily, day to day, and then students, and all of that. But at the same time, we also cook what should be able to like appeal our customers, and all of that. And to add to what I said previously, sometimes there are people that just create videos for them to go viral. What I believe is that it's not just about putting out the video. Why are you creating it? Why are you cooking a certain dish? What is it going to do? Do you understand what impact are you going to make with that particular thing? Because at the end of the day, when you're just mixing things that are not supposed to be mixed, but just in a way that you want it to be content, you want to put it out there for people to come and talk about it, for it to go viral. At the end of the day, it doesn't make sense. And then it's more like you putting that onto your face, because whenever people see your brand or see any content of your brand, that's what they see on your face.
Let's talk about filters. Let's talk about the editing, the lighting, the content creator chefs.
Okay.
On content creator chefs, let me add that way. What they do on, they add that to the version of their food. Don't you think this does not match the reality of what goes on in the house of these chefs? And does that concern you, that it's creating a misperception in the minds of people?
Did you just say filter?
Yes,
Because
filters, lightning, editing. People do
okay,
that.
in that case, like editing it in a way that would a little bit elevate it and make the video either pop. I feel like that's quite very okay, because it's just a way to try and make the video very appealing and very attractive to whoever is watching. It's just a little lightening, some sharpness for. Do you understand?
Yes, you're just trying to, package the question.
Yeah, exactly.
But is that not
Exactly.
giving a audience a misconception? They might think, oh, I can never actually achieve this. And probably they achieve what the chef actually achieved, but they never had the filters and the lightning on it.
Because we are professionals when it comes to that. You understand?
When it comes to the editing,
Yeah,
or when it comes to
exactly.
being the chef.
Both.
Wow. So, what's my concern actually is how social media or this influencing, the packaging thing you talk about,
Yeah.
is creating a misconception in the minds of people some people think they are not up to the standard, and
Okay.
probably they've already achieved what that person achieved, but they don't get the other side of the packaging.
Which other side are you talking about?
We are talking about the filtering, the editing, and all of that.
I believe that one is more of putting in the work. It's more of you trying to make it attractive to your customers. Customers, I mean brands that reach out to us for collaboration, sponsored ads, and all of that. It's just trying to, because at the end of the day, there is no way you could serve like you would make a video for a brand and then the video is looking dull. Do you understand? I mean, it's not possible.
Yes, that brings me to my next question. We've had a lot of videos, and you think, oh, this is so attractive.
Yeah.
Even if you have that same chicken at home, you want to eat this person's chicken because it's elevated, just like we've mentioned. Only for you to order for that chicken, and you will realize, oh, you have a better chicken in your freezer. What would you say about that?
It depends on who cooks it.
That's the case of what you order versus what you
Yeah,
get.
that's what you ordered.
But that
versus
is what
you got.
social media is actually doing to people now. And that is the misconception I am talking about.
Okay. Sometimes that's why I said people should be very open-minded into trying out things, learning things. I mean, I cook a lot and I'm a very passionate person, as I said. That's one reason why I went back to culinary school. I was just cooking online. I was just cooking whatever I'm cooking. Do you understand? But then I wanted to acquire the knowledge for what I cook. Do you understand? Because everything that goes into the food has a reason why it goes inside. So sometimes, I mean, people are just cooking home, like what they usually cook in their homes and then serving to their buyers. So it's not like they are doing something ordinarily, you understand, or something extra. So I believe that from the first place where you ordered, like you said, you're supposed to know what's in a day order, you understand?
Should that be in accordance with the cost of the food or what?
Yeah, it should be that.
Okay, so let's move to the responsibility of being an influencer.
Okay.
When you post rich, elaborate meals during a period when many Nigerians struggle to afford basic food,
Okay.
do you somehow think about how people might receive it?
Yeah. As I said, that's why we also do like budget friendly meals for people who cannot actually afford like those kind of meals that we cook. Whereas you see chicken, you see, I mean, even edible flowers that you use for the food, it costs around 10,000 naira for just flowers for garnish, you understand, and all of that, and even more. Not to talk about other ingredients like cooking cream, butter is 4,000 naira, and all of, before you know, a plate of food will now cost you around 40,000, 50,000. That's a lot.
Yes, the way your countenance and the way you sounded were like, oh, it's not even necessary. But this is coming from you guys.
Yeah.
But why do you think it's necessary to even garnish it that way? If you also think, oh, it's quite expensive.
It's a way that we present ourselves. As I will still go back to that answer that I gave you. It's us trying to attract our customers. Do you understand? Just like the person that ordered rice or something, they ordered what they didn't get in the first place. So I think that should also make sense to it.
But don't you think sometimes luxury food content can become insensitive during economic hardship?
I don't think so.
Why?
As I said, we do budget-friendly meals, and then we also do high-standard meals. That's fine dining. So we are being very considerate, whichever way.
Yeah. So we have some other chefs, online that, okay, they're kind of cooking, they cook large content of food.
Okay.
They try to, share, and you see them sharing just food. So where should the creators draw the line? should we judge chefs or creators by their impact or their intent?
I don't understand.
Should we judge chefs like the creators by the impact they are making with those food or the intention of just creating a rich, elevated kind of food?
Okay, if I get you right, so as you said, cooking in bulk. There is also some there are creators that cook for the sake of just it's going viral just because bulk cooking is really nice, but at the same time the intention also matters. Because we have a lot of less privileged people, and then cooking this kind of meals online and then giving it out, I feel like it's a very genuine thing
Yeah.
for even to like inspire people who are not creating content and are privileged, for them to be also able to like pick up from there and then do the little that they can do.
So you think both should just be left in their space?
Yeah.
People who create bulk should be left in their space. People who are creating, we know, for some categories of people, maybe rich customers, should just be judged differently.
Yeah.
Nobody should be used to copy. Okay, guys. Food creators often describe themselves as, preserving culture, but
Yeah.
culture is also becoming content. Has Arewa cuisine become a niche to monetize? Because we seem to have a number of northern Arewa chef,
Okay.
but we'll be discussing this when we come back for the break. Let's go for another quick break and we'll come back. We're still here with Chef Ma. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are still on Spotlight on with Chef Ma. And now we'll be talking about when you said, oh, we are doing Arewa cuisines, we're trying to preserve culture. But then, what is our culture turning into? Chef Ma, is there a risk that our traditional dishes that are supposed to, just fill our stomach, the tuomi kuka and all of that, they're like simple, quick meal?
Yeah.
But is it that social media is making it look elaborated, expensive, things that would have made life easier for us are now looking difficult? Because if some people cook meal cooker for you online, you will hate your soup. So where is it or we are doing something else?
We are preserving and at the same time we are elevating. So it depends on who cooked it in the first place and then why they are cooking it. For me, going to culinary school has opened my mind in a way that simple ingredients that we are used to cooking with or we are used to seeing, can do way more than what we are familiar with, to create like a fusion of both. There is a dish that I made, a dish of what do you call it? It's actually another Nigerian dish made with alkama, that's wheat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more like dumbo. You
Like
steam it and then you eat it either with chili oil or just normal groundnut oil and pepper.
Yeah.
But then I cooked it in a way that I elevated it with a vegetable.
Yeah.
Which that's not the normal way that we
normally cook it.
Yeah, we cook it and then serve with like a lamb chops, and then there are vegetables, there are edible flowers, and all of that. Because looking at other people's food, talking about other people, I mean the Asian, how they actually cook their food and then plate it very, very, I mean, that's also their own cultural food also,
Yeah.
but then they also try as much as they could to like elevate it. We have people, we have professional chefs that are hosting like a fine dining
Yeah.
event where they cook our northern Nigerian food in a way that it is elevating and it is appealing, and it's really, really mind blowing because nobody could thought, okay, so thing that you are used
Can
to
come out
eating
this
can
way.
come out in that way. So there is more to food than just cooking it the regular. So it's more of being open minded, trying out new things.
So have you ever changed a traditional recipe just because you know that it's going to, perform better online?
Yeah.
So does it matter if, okay, the question is, does this taste even get better, or it doesn't matter if it tastes better but it looks better?
Both. It depends on what ingredients you are using. What exactly? It's not just about cooking just me on kuka. I mean, kuka is a powder. It's a three, right?
Yeah.
So you might not necessarily cook it as a soup, but you can decide to make anything. It can be a dessert. It can be a salad with kuka, and all of that. I know this is going to sound somehow with some people, but it's just something normal and something natural. It's about elevating our cultural food, our Hausa cuisine, and just trying to make it in a way that it becomes more of what it is now.
Let's talk about social media criticism. You
Okay.
know, as a popular chef, you will not always get like the accolades, and so many times you get the accolade like this is actually looking good. Tell us about the times you face criticism online.
Okay. It's usually around when you create something, you cook something that is not being cooked the normal way that it is. So that's the normal time that people just come after you. They don't get to try it. You cooked it for yourself, for your family. They enjoyed it, and then you decided to bring it online for people, and then people don't like it. Instead of you to just pass it without saying a word or just but people actually love to just come for you just because you cook something that they did not eat, but then you ate it and your family and you loved it.
What's the hardest criticism you faced online?
Hmm. In a way that people don't just comment, they don't just leave a bad comment, but then they come after you in your DM. They send
Really?
you, yeah, they send you messages with insults. You don't know me. I don't know you. I'm just a
As a
social
result of
media
just
friend.
creating a new recipe,
Yeah, of course.
what kind of statements, what kind of comment is, because I don't know how it's actually concern you so much to come to someone's DM and
Yeah,
criticize them so much.
because they believe it's their food, it's their
Oh,
culture. You
yeah.
understand? Why are you doing it that way? Why? Do you understand? It's more like they feel or they believe you are trying to change something that has been there for a very, very long time.
But do you think that is justified because it belongs, culture is a part of life.
Yeah.
Is it justified that a particular group of people do not feel okay about this and they're coming out to revolt?
In the first place, who made the culture? Hmm?
So,
It's humans, right?
yeah.
And then we can change it too.
So you think it's justified if you are coming to create something new with the
Mm-hmm.
same culture that some people love fight?
Yeah.
All right, Chef Ma. So, what have you ever deleted content online because maybe you reflected, you realized, oh, maybe it's sending the wrong message? Not because your content is bad, but maybe you think it's sending the wrong message.
No, I've never done that. It's either I turn off the comment section or I just leave it there. I don't go back to the comments because the first time I had like a backlash on a video I made on, I think it was Eba or something that I made. I made it with chicken stock, not
What?
chicken stock,
What did you make?
Eba.
And you
I
made it
with chicken stock. I mean, we use just water to make eba, but then I made it with chicken stock. At the end of the day, you're going to have that eba with either okra,
oh, yeah.
whatever soup you want to, but then if there is a protein inside, there's still stock.
So to be sincere, when you make things like this, were you able to, swallow them?
Yeah, of course. Are you not going to eat the eba with the soup?
But
Why does it?
what have you changed about yourself because of public criticism, maybe social media critics?
Okay. What I change is being very, very intentional about whatever I'm putting out. Because as I mentioned, it's not just about putting out the content or just creating the content for it to go viral also, but what impact are you making? Do you
Yeah.
understand? As much as I want to create videos that are very, very nice and appealing and videos that will reach my right audience, I'm also very much concerned about the video meeting the wrong audience. So I'm very, very careful and very, very selective of what I put online. Yeah.
But do you think successful food creators sometimes forget the realities of ordinary Nigerians?
Okay.
Successful food creators, do you think sometimes they forget the reality of ordinary Nigerians?
No, because we are all ordinary.
There are some successful food creators that will feel like, oh, if you're not adding this to your food, then you might be eating trash. So do you think at some point when they get successful, and this it's not just to the chef alone,
Okay.
maybe some other content creators, when they come out to say something, do you think their being successful takes them away from the realities of ordinary Nigerians?
It's really not about being successful, honestly. It's about acquiring the knowledge, because you might be doing something that you have no knowledge about and you're being insensitive.
But do you think food can influence public?
Yeah.
And you as a chef, you are in that position to tell better meal
Yeah.
that will influence the health. So for people that just come online and are so determined to just get the followers,
Okay.
get the colors, what would you say about that if we're talking about food influencing public health?
Okay. I would say followers are just there. Followers are just there online. So whatever you put on your brand, it's like a representation of who you are. You're trying to put like an image to yourself. So it's very important when you are very conscious about whatever it is that you are putting out. Either you are doing healthy meals or you're just putting out food combos that are not even making sense. And then you are doing a lot that are not beneficial to the audience. So you have to be very, very considerate about that.
So you think should creators promote healthier eating even if it's attracting fewer viewers?
Yeah, it depends on their niche, because for me now, as I'm also trying to be on the healthier side, I'm also trying to like share more of my journey on eating healthy with my audience, because at the end of the day, I mean, we all want to live healthier, right? So it's just the little changes that we make, and then how the small impact that we make will go a very, very long way.
So would you rather be remembered as an influencer or a chef?
I would say as a chef.
But you know, influencing came before chef.
Yeah, but then I love being a chef. I love food, not because I eat a lot of food. I don't really eat,
Yeah.
but I love cooking food. I love creating experiences for people, you know. It's very popular that people say food is a love language.
Yeah.
It's also my language. So I cook for you. That means I love you.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Thank you so much, Chef Ma. Before going for our final break now, and when we return, we'll be going to the last segment of the program, the rapid fire. Let's go for a quick break. Welcome back again. This has been Spotlight On, and I've been here with Chef Ma. We've been talking about food making, we've been talking about influencing, but now we'll be peeping a little bit into the private life of an influencer and a chef. How do you manage to put all of this together? Being a chef, being an influencer, being a mother, being a wife.
Okay, it's very, very hard, but then it's all about delegation. Um, I have a specific time where I do my content. I have time for my family. In a way, I just plan things ahead of time. I I don't really work on pressure. I don't like working on pressure. That's why I have like a calendar that I follow. I
Yeah.
know when to create content. I know when to do this for my family. I know when to do that, and all of that. So it's just about creating a balance between that, something that will not drain you at the end of the day. Because as much as I really want to be out there for people, because I believe that I'm giving inspiration to a lot of women that there are people that they don't really know how to cook, and then maybe they usually have problems with their spouses because they don't do this, they don't know how to do that,
Yeah.
because I receive a lot of messages from people that, hi Chef Ma, I did this and then my spouse loved this and that, and then at that point I knew that okay, um, we are changing the narrative and then people are learning something from what we do. So it's more about creating a balance. I don't do, if I'm supposed to have time with my family, I don't bring content in
So,
that
but before you
space.
find this balance, was there a time when everything was, all together and you felt like, why am I even combining this? This is like a
Yeah,
lot for me.
yeah, it was very, very overwhelming. I used to make donuts. I used to make content for the social media. I used to cater for my family. I do a lot of things, but at the end of the day, there are things that I just have to like let them go. Why? Because there are a lot for me to do, to take care of, and then it's okay. It's okay, because what I believe is that something has to go for something to, for you to be able to
Yeah.
sustain something, for
You
you
can
to
eat
be
your
able
cake and
to,
have
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly, to do something bigger. So it's just normal.
Oh, interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an interesting conversation with Chef Ma. And I promise we'll be going on our next segment, the final segment actually, before we draw the curtain, which is the rapid fire. This is my most interesting part because this is where we used to catch the guests. So you're given the opportunity to just pick one word. No culinary skill here. Don't put in any smart move.
Okay.
Just one word.
Okay.
So, chef or influencer?
Chef.
Okay. Views or values?
Values.
That's what you all say, but I know how much influencers love followers and views.
Yeah, of
But it's
course.
easy for you now to say it.
But it's the value that you give that brings the audience.
Okay, no culinary skill.
Okay.
Authenticity or virality?
Authenticity.
Taste or presentation?
Presentation.
So it doesn't matter if it tastes nice or not.
What if it tastes nice and it doesn't look good?
Okay, that's how you added meat stock to Eba.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so traditional recipes or reinvention?
Fusion.
You have to pick one.
Okay, reinvention.
All right. So money or credibility?
Money.
Okay, so I won't judge you for that.
Okay.
Followers or respect?
Respect.
Influencers, they like followers.
But I also like respect. I am very, very big at respect.
Okay, so we're picking respect.
Yeah.
Algorithm or originality?
Originality.
Okay. One food trend that has done more harm than good.
Mm, I don't really follow trends like that, so
Yeah.
I usually pass.
Okay, so we are skipping.
Yeah.
So tell us one truth about social media that most creators won't admit.
What's not everything you see on social media is genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Sometimes it's just packaging. Yeah.
All right. So now you finish this sentence. The biggest problem with influencer culture is what?
High expectations.
Oh, that's awesome if you think about it. If you think about it, that's actually very, very, very true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chef Ma. We've come to the end of our program. It's been a very, conversational conversation with you. Behind every successful public figure you see lies a bigger conversation. Today, Chef Ma helped us examine one that extends far beyond the kitchen, who shapes culture, who earns our trust. And in a world driven by clicks and algorithm, can authenticity survive commercial success? Those are questions that won't be answered today alone. Chef Ma, thank you for your time and thank you for watching Spotlight On. My name is Zainab Ibrahim and I've been your host.